Okay, so I'm going to say that statement all over again. I'm going to use Sybil as an example. Somebody that has, Sybil has a very busy child. He is going to be famous if he's not already famous. And so days can look different day on end. But if you had a very specific list of things that you're going to complete every day that are non-negotiables, and then like for me, my days usually look the same. So I have mine scheduled. I do my power hour every day at 9 o'clock. And actually now that school has started, it actually is like 9:15. But I do have my power hour at that point, right? So no matter what I feel like, no matter what's going on, I try and kick out my non-negotiables. So then if the day runs away on itself, if I get busy, if I can't do the things I want, at least I know that chunk of my business is done, okay? And I'm gonna share mine with you so that you know, and I'll tell you the things that are like rock solid, I don't miss. And then there's some like if my power hour has to be cut short that I'll come back to, okay? But if you have a day where you, or a schedule like Sybil's where you don't know where the power hour is going to fall into, but you have that list, I suggest you getting, I actually have 2 notebooks, that, one specifically that goes with me everywhere, and then one that is my power hour notebook. But I have a list right at the beginning of this, and I just sit down and I start at the top of my list and I start working down. If I get interrupted, I make a little mark and I come back and that's where I pick back up, right? I do these things every single day. Okay, I got really consistent with this in the beginning of June, and guess what happened in June, I promoted for the first time on the customer collector side in almost 3 years. Okay, so consistency is a huge thing, and these activities are a huge thing. Okay, so the very first thing I do, and this might not be the same for everybody, and I know I've shared this list with most of you, so you might even have seen this list, but the very first thing I do is I clear my messenger. So some of you might say, well, my messenger isn't that busy. Well, that might be because you are at your messenger's beck and call, okay? If you, every time your phone dings or every time messenger lights up, you jump, you're at your messenger's beck and call, okay? And I know at the beginning of your business, you don't want to leave people sitting and waiting, and I'm okay with that. I used to do that same thing. But as you grow and your messenger's going off all the time, I have time blocks where I actually am spending time in Messenger. And some of you might already be like, well, that's why she doesn't answer me as soon as I message. I only go into my Messenger usually in time blocks. Now, if there are people that I know that when they message me, I try to get with them in a shorter period of time, okay? So I'm not saying that this is like concrete, but you want to treat your Messenger. This is a job, you guys. You want to treat it like a business, not a hobby. You want to treat it like with the respect that it deserves, but you also have to respect yourself. So clear messenger. Happy birthdays are the very next thing that I do. And I actually do these a day after people's birthdays. So I sing happy belated birthday. Actually, I use a really funny Snapchat filter or a messenger filter with the teary eyes or the big eyes, the ones that make me look sad. And I'll say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed your day. I always use a voice changer so that you don't have to hear my horrible voice. And I say, I just can't believe I missed your day. I hope it was incredible. Why do I do it the day after? Everybody's Messenger and Facebook is bombarded on their birthdays. When I do it the day after, there's very few people that are sending them belated birthday messages, so I stick out, okay? It stands out to them. So you can send them on the day. I'm not telling you that you can't, but I definitely recommend you doing a funny video, singing to them goofy. I used to rap happy birthday. You can sing an opera. You can do all sorts of crazy things because guess what? You want to make sure that you stand out though, because you're going to make somebody's day, number one. And number two, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from her in forever. I'm going to go look at her page and see what she's been up to. So you want to make sure that your page is awesome. You want to make sure that your page is awesome. And actually, I peeked both your pages today. So you guys are both doing awesome. I want you to know that. So I looked because when we got on here, I wanted to be able to say, you know, this is what I would do different. This is what I would change. But really, I feel like the only thing we really need to focus on is engagement and building your network and getting the eyeballs on you. So birthdays will help, okay? My next thing is referral posts. So I know that, I don't think that we've really talked about referral posts with Sybil, so I'm going to talk just a touch about them. But referral posts actually are probably the next thing that we should talk about, really. And Christy, I know that I saw a good giveaway post up on your wall. So probably the next post that we do with Sybil will be some sort of fun giveaway for these next few days and try and get some referral posts up. But referral posts are something that your friends can put up on their wall And we're going to script the post. We're going to give them the picture. They're going to tag you in the post. And it's going to be we call them exposure posts too, because it's going to expand your circle, right? It's almost like your warm cold market, your friends' friends. You don't really know them, but you already have some credibility with them because you have a mutual friend. Get it? So when your friend puts it up and says, hey, my friend Christy showed me this, I couldn't believe blah, 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 with a picture, and they start asking questions, then we can actually start adding them as friends and answering their questions and ATMing them, okay? It's a really great way to get more eyeballs on you and what you have to offer, okay? So my next thing is referral posts. Now, I mentioned the giveaway post. I actually am going to post a giveaway post tonight for myself. I already took the picture yesterday, so that's good. We'll talk about why I took my picture yesterday in a minute. But I took my picture yesterday prepping for today's post, and so I'll do that giveaway post, and anybody that comments, I'm going to message them and say, hey, you know what, to get entered in the giveaway, you can put this post up, and obviously I have a much better written script, I guess you could call it, that I send them when they say they want in. But for you guys that maybe need to get more eyeballs on you, you can't just throw up a giveaway post right now. You actually have to think of, and the way I like to think about it is, if you broke down on the side of the road, who are the first 10 people you would call? Who would do a favor for you? Okay. And after you've worked through those 10, then who are the next people that are on your list? And who are your friends and family? And who can you reach out to and say, hey, you know what? And this is, you guys, this is what I would say to people. You don't have to, these are people you know, these are people that trust you, these are people that love you. You can send them a message and say, hey, I'm not sure you saw, but I started something new and I'm super excited. Would you be willing to do me a favor? Simple as that, okay? They're gonna write back and be like, depends on what it is, or sure, or no. If they say no, that's the worst thing they can say, right? Okay, thanks, no worries. If they say yes, or depends on what it is, you can say, hey, would you be willing to throw a post up on your wall? I'm trying to get a little bit more exposure. I'll supply the post, super not spammy. I'll supply the picture. You throw it up. And in return, if anybody is interested from your post, you actually could set up a free customer account and get some free product credit if you're at all interested. Okay, dude, they're going to get free stuff in return if people order, okay? So I have yet to, I shouldn't say, I've had people say yes to me and I gave them the stuff and they didn't post it, but they haven't ever blatantly told me no. And that's, I mean, I don't, whatever, roll with the punches. Actually, I keep a list of the people that I send it to that don't post it, and I'll come back and be like, yo, you never posted. Would you be willing to do that now? Yes, I will make sure that you guys get the recording to this. So referral posts, though, are such an incredible way for you guys to get more eyeballs on you, right? They're people that you don't already know, people that aren't looking at your page. And what happens is those people are going to start, you're going to start friending those people on your referral posts. They're going to start friending you back. They're going to be fresh in your news feed. You're going to start interacting. You're going to watch your engagement go up. Referral posts do so many. Referral posts are what changed my business. So I definitely highly, highly, highly recommend that we get a little bit outside of our comfort zone and asking more people if they'd be willing to throw a post up as a favor. Okay. So that is probably a Sybil. I know for you, that will probably be the very next thing that we walk through. And now that I kind of have that, the idea of it out there, I think it'll be really super simple for us to do that. And you already have some, like the pilot wives, like those are perfect people to be like, hey, you know, I'm super excited about this. And they're going to see how easy it is for you. And then they're going to be interested in probably the business side too. So that's an exciting thing. Okay. The next thing on my list, if you guys have questions, will you just keep them? I'm going to run through this and then I'll open it up for questions at the end. The next thing that I have on my list, and actually I have it still on here, but I actually have not been doing it during my power hour, is buy, sell, trade posts. Because I do my power hour during the daytime, buy, sell, trade posts for me aren't active during the day. So when I created this list and I put it on there, I was doing them. And then I saw like, hey, I get way more interaction if I post my buy, sell, trades at like 9 or 10, and then I wake up in the morning and deal with my buy, sell, trade posts. Okay. So I'm not going to really dig into buy, sell, trade posts at this moment because I really want to work on engagement with network and building your brand, building your network. Okay, So the next thing that I do is comment on 20 non-Modere people. Now, I know, Sybil, you've already heard this a number of times. I know you guys all that are on here have heard this, but every time you open Facebook, this is going to prevent you from opening it all the time too, because we waste a lot of time senselessly scrolling Facebook. I mean, we all do. I am as guilty as the next. Excuse me. But every time you open Facebook, minimum 10, 20 non-Modere people's Facebook comments, Facebook posts, goodness gracious. And by commenting, I don't mean gorgeous, yes girl, love it. Like those are like generic comments, right? We want to post things that people are gonna be like, oh, that was so nice of her. Like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how big Johnny has grown. I feel like yesterday, the last time I saw him, he was in kindergarten, right? It's first day of school around here. So there's all these posts. So I like first day of school is like such a great time because moms have a new routine. It's a good time to be interacting with moms. Moms are like looking for things to do if they're not a working mom, or they're getting back on track like me. I started back on my exercise routine when school started yesterday, and I think I'm dying. But you want to, it's just a great time to be interacting. So comment 20 non-Modere people's posts every time you open Facebook. Then my next thing for me is posting in all groups that I'm, and actually this part right here is posting in Modere groups that I'm active in, okay? So I might do something in Simple Clean Results. I might do something in Elite Accountability, our team page, our bigger team pages, touching base in team chat. Like that's where I would do that. But if you, I would love if every person, even a brand new person, were posting questions or things that they find that are inspiring, or anything great in our team page. Like if every day or even 3 times a week you found something really great to share in Elite Legacy, I would literally sunbeams out my ears. I would be so excited. Yeah, I just said that. I'm wearing yellow like the sunshine today. Okay, so next thing, interacting on stories. Okay, so I know for some of you, stories are not super active. Your audience aren't using stories. So I've heard from a couple of you. That's okay. We're going to grow your audience. So if you are growing your audience and we're going to start friending new people and we're going to expand your network, I'm going to guess for you that more people out there are doing stories than not. It just might be your current few hundred people that are not. Okay. So as you're expanding into the right types of people, you're going to be surprised at how many people are using stories, and the more consistent you are being with stories at that point, the better, right? Because they're going to watch your stories, you're going to watch theirs. I mean, it's like a give and take. So I want you to start thinking about what do you do in your life? Like things that people like. A good story post, for example, it does not have to be Modere related every single time. It's been a while. I'm probably going to post this tomorrow. My hair's gotten really long and I wash my hair every day. Okay. I know that's not the right thing to do, but I wash my hair every day, but I hate to blow dry my hair. And I get a ton of interaction when I post a picture of me with wet hair and say, who loves fresh, clean hair, but hates to style it or hates to dry it? Like who dreads the blow dryer as much as me? And you would be surprised, like stupid things like that are going to get a lot of interaction. People are going to be like, oh, it's the worst, right? It doesn't matter. Like getting ready in the, do you have a question right now, Sybil? If not, it's okay. Zoom tells me that you raise your hand. You can unmute. There's only a few of us on here, so if you have something.
No, I was just agreeing with your hair comment.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Like blow drying is the worst. Like air dry all the time, but now we're in fall and I have to see people in like the school places and ugh, that's the worst. So washing your face, doing the dishes, cooking dinner. You'll see, if you watch my stories at all, you're going to see Noodles and Bosley. My dogs are in there all the time. You know, outside, the beauty of it is fall in Michigan. You guys are about to see a lot of that because it turns orange, yellow, and red here. It's not green anymore. It's beautiful in the fall. All the things, people want to see your life. It's like a snapshot of your life. So as you're grocery store, if you have a long line at the grocery store, who hates standing in line at the grocery store waiting to check out? Me. So snapping a picture and being like, I dread the grocery store, but I dread the line at the grocery store even more. Okay. So just being a little bit creative about stories, I think, is really a good thing. Also, you can slap some before and after pictures in the middle of your story and be like, who wants results like these? Click the top part where there's like a sticker and click poll, and it'll give you a yes or no button. And you can put the yes or no button there. So you have a before picture, the question, who wants results like these, and a yes or no, and you post it. In the middle of your life that's happening, people are going to look at it because it's not all before and after pictures. They want to see what's going on in your life. They're going to see the result mixed in with your life, and they're going to start wondering what the heck you're up to. Okay, so you have to have a really good measure of how much you do. Now, there is an app called Unfold, UNFOLD, that is really freaking incredible for creating stories, like a string of stories. So if you watch it's already off, I think, from yesterday, but I did a story about the business opportunity. And I had like an orange background, and I was saying like I wrote no quotas. And then the next slide had no quotas and no website fee. And then the next one had no quotas, no website fee, no inventory. So it looked like things were popping up when you touch the screen. But Unfold actually lets you lay them out side by side so that you can see the whole string when you're creating it, right? So it's a really great way for creating slides. Okay, and there's there's a free version and a paid version. I only have the free one at this point. I'm considering upgrading because they have some cool fonts and some fun backgrounds and things like that. But they have different, so like if you want one that's all picture, if you want one that's picture and text, if you want picture, like they have all these different templates in the free one. So you can make your story so fantastic. And the other place that I like to make stories is Canva has some good templates too. They have some paid and some free as well. But I'm beginning to really like Unfold more than I like Canva. Although Canva has like pretty painted backgrounds, and you actually have to create some of them on Unfold. So have fun with stories. Like just enjoy that. Missy is a perfect example. Missy, I know that she used to say to me, oh gosh, I'm not getting a lot of views. 30 and 40 people are looking at my stories. And just last week she messaged me and she's getting like 160 views on her stories. It is solely because she got consistent. Right? I think that actually all of us on here that have been consistent with stories would agree with that statement exactly. Like the more consistent, the more days in a row you do it, the more frequently you're doing it, you'll start seeing that it's not because all of a sudden more people are interested in you. It's because Facebook is showing you to more people because you're being consistent. Facebook wants you to be social with your social media. That's all. Have fun. The other part about stories is I talked about the poll, the yes or no button, the poll on stickers, but that sticker up at the top, there's like 4 buttons across the top of your stories. One is like to edit, like beautify it. I don't ever hit that one. The one next to it looks like it's got like a corner peeled up, like a sticker. And when you click that, it says GIF, it says music, it says sticker, I think, it says poll, it says questions, like there's different things, okay? Play with those. Like if you hit GIF and you type in, like I use the GIFs a lot. Like I started exercising yesterday and I used, I said something about lacing up my shoes, and I used the runner that was like high step in, and he like ran across the bottom of my story. So actually activity is going to attract more eyes, right? So just having fun with some of those silly things. Okay, the next thing is Instagram, and I actually probably should switch those around. And to be very honest with you, I don't want to really talk about Instagram right now, except for because I really want you to be solid on Facebook before we touch on Instagram. But I do like, if you have Instagram already, I do like that you can actually post all of your stories from Instagram. And when you go to hit share, there's a little drop down, and you can click to always share to Facebook. Okay, so we can start getting some eyeballs on you in Instagram without you doing anything extra. You just post your stories from Instagram and they always flow over to Facebook. So you're actually 2 birds, 1 stoning it. I love that. That's how I post all of my stories. The only thing that makes me sad is I like to put music to my stories, and they don't transfer to Facebook if I add music, which makes me so sad. Okay, so we're not going to dig into Instagram. Branding groups. Okay, so stories are going to help get more people on you. Exposure posts, referral posts are going to help get more eyes on you. Branding groups. And I know that we've talked quite a bit about branding groups, but I think that the more engaging you can be on whether it's you posting value in your branding groups or you going in and actually commenting and spending some time commenting on other people's posts in branding groups. This is what I do. If I post and someone comments, every time I post in a branding group, I ask a question at the end of my post, hoping, it's called a call to action, right? We want to call them to do something. So we're asking them to comment below. Show me a picture of your dog. Show me a picture of your kid that went to school for the first day today. Show me whatever in the comments. When people comment, I respond to every comment, but I also try to make it an engaging comment, so they have to comment back, right? And when they do, I typically shoot a friend request and then I take it to Messenger, okay? This is all about building relationships. People are going to accept a friend request from somebody that they just saw that you had an interaction with, and they know you're a real person pretty quickly, okay? Does everybody accept him? No, that's okay. Doesn't hurt my feelings. But Facebook also won't throw you in jail for friend requesting somebody that you just had an interaction with. So if you're interacting with 20 people in your branding group and you send 20 friend requests, but you just had conversations or exchanged 1 or 2 comments between them, Facebook is not going to throw you in jail for that because they saw you talking to them. Okay? It's when you go to a branding group, open up the members list and hit friend request, friend request, friend request, friend request. That's when Facebook says, okay, you're a robot, putting you in jail. Okay? It's when you copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, throw you in jail. Okay? So it's really important in branding groups, in Messenger, everywhere that you're interacting, that you're being extremely genuine and authentic and showing your personality. I had a conversation with somebody today about letting your personality shine through. I've said this a million times. I've heard it a million times. I did not come up with it, but it resounds with me. People buy people, not products. Okay? So if you let your personality and your uniqueness shine through, you're going to start attracting people that are like you. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? You be the judge. Do you want more people like you? Are you who you want to be? And then once you start attracting those people, guys, when you start attracting people that are like you, there's something really freaking magical that happens, right? People that have like mind like you, and they want big things like you, and they have drive like you, and they're excited like you. But if you're not putting out, if you're putting out a, I'm struggling, if you're putting out a dry persona, like think about what you're putting out there, because that's what you're going to attract back. Okay? I don't think I have to really expand on that. Branding groups. You guys have to shop for branding groups. Okay? This is where you get to have a little bit of fun. I used bowling. I think it was Sybil the other day. I used bowling as an example, wasn't it? I think. Like you have to find something that you're really interested in that you love. Okay? So I know Sybil likes to camp. Okay, so you're going to join 3 camping groups, right? And you're going to start interacting in them. And very quickly, I joined a bunch of stepmom groups because I'm a stepmom advocate that we don't use the word step. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to make all these stepmoms see that like being a stepmom can be great. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm here to tell you, I was leaving those groups as fast as I joined them because they're very negative. Okay, same thing. If you join 3 camping groups and you get in there and people are complaining about the management of the campgrounds and how this is bad and that is bad, those are not your people. That is not the group that you want to be in. Leave the group. No harm, no foul. Go shop and find groups where you're like, man, I joined a group, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, and I was like, where has this group been all my life? Like every day I can't wait to go and interact in there. We have to find those groups. And you don't need to have, I know that there's a point where like social media coaches are like, somebody with too many groups, like that's negative, that negatively affects your algorithm. I don't even worry about that. I try to go through my groups, which I'm in way too many currently. I try to go through them and remove some groups I'm not active in, groups that are not bringing me value, groups that are not even showing in my newsfeed. But find a handful of them, 10 or less right now, that you can be active in, 2 to 3 a day. So if you have 10 of them, you can do 2 or 3 a day and be rotating through them and bringing value and engaging and making a presence. There's something really incredible about that. So I know I've been really long-winded about branding groups, but this is going to be the most important part. You could send 10 to 20 friend requests a day, and by next week, imagine 10 to 20 friend requests. If half the people, so 10 people a day accepted your friend request, 10 days from now, you have 100 new friends. 100 new eyeballs that are fresh, that you've interacted with, that could be watching what you're doing right now. Your engagement could change in 10 days that significantly. Okay. So just really put yourself out there. You know, don't hold back. I love watching people that are new, that are like coming out of their shell. Just expanding on that. It's pretty good. So the very next thing I have on here is add new friends and delete inactives. So obviously branding groups leads into adding new friends. Deleting inactive, Facebook also loves it when you get rid of people that you don't interact with. So the only way that I do this is I go to, while I'm doing my happy birthdays, actually, if I look at everybody's profile before I send happy birthday. And if they have not been active on Facebook, if they have not shared, if they're only sharing videos and they haven't posted anything like organically themselves in months, if we haven't spoken in 6 years, if I sent them happy birthday last year and they never replied, like there's a lot of things I'll delete before I even send a birthday message sometimes now. Now, I also go to my memories at this point of my power hour. I go to my memories and I scroll all the way to the bottom, and they'll be like, on this day, you've been friends with this person for 2 years, this person for 3 years, this person for 10 years, this person, all of those people. I open every one of their profiles too. And if it's somebody that I want to interact with, I actually will comment on a couple posts and like start bringing them back into my newsfeed. If they're, or same thing, if they haven't been active, if they haven't, whatever, I delete them. Okay. There's also a thing like if you've been friends with them for 6 years, you can actually message them and say happy friendiversary. I don't usually do that. I actually go to their wall and interact like, oh my gosh, you popped up in my newsfeed. Like they don't even have to know that I went to my memories and saw that we've been friends exactly from this day. So good way to delete inactive people. That's what I do every day. I also review my daily schedule just so I kind of know what I'm looking towards for the rest of the day. And if I need to go to town, if I don't leave the house if I don't have to. So I kind of block out what I need to do that day. And then responding to comments. Responding to comments for me, what that means is I actually go to my personal profile and I go back and I touch base. This is where I'm like 3 or 4 days behind on this. I'm not gonna lie. But you need to go to any of your posts that have comments that you have not individually replied to. Every comment on every post of your profile page should have a comment. It should have a reply. Okay? Do not let me be the example that you're led by on that one at this moment in time. Every post you put up, when someone comments, please reply. I personally, I know that I probably might get some flack for even saying this out loud, but I personally like to comment on a few of them, wait a little bit, comment again, because it bumps your post back up, wait a few, comment again, and it keeps bumping your post, okay? So, or if I have a really great post that had really great engagement, and Christy jumped off, but Christy will listen to the replay of this, her giveaway post, going back tomorrow and commenting on it with like a fun sticker or be like, I'm so excited about everyone that has entries so far, whatever, it'll pull it back to the top of people's news feeds. If you have a post that you love and that you still want more interaction on or that you think people should be seeing, bump it. All you have to do is comment on it. Okay, on mine, I'm gonna skip that. So creating story content. This is where I use Unfold and I try and create some of those stories. Every storyline that you create in Unfold saves there. So like now I made one yesterday about the business opportunity. So now 3 weeks from now, if I want to do one about the business opportunity, I can go back into Unfold. I've labeled it opportunity. I can click on it and I can share it right to my stories again. You don't have to recreate all of your content when it's business related, right? Because that's going to be pretty much the same and different eyeballs are probably going to see it. Will some of the same? Sure. If you follow any influencers on Instagram or Facebook that are massive, like high top earners, they recycle their stories. It's not a bad thing. But creating story content, I do take a chunk and I do that. I also right there do my content creation. So like I told you guys, I already have my picture for tonight. I took it yesterday because I knew I was going to do a giveaway post tonight before I went to bed. I try to plan a little bit ahead because I'm only posting usually one time a day on Facebook. And that's usually either in the morning during my power hour or at night after like 7 o'clock Eastern, I'll post. I want to hit the high peak times of Facebook, and I actually have watched, you can go to Messenger and at the very bottom, the very middle icon has a little number above it. That's the number of your Facebook friends that are active at this very moment. Okay, so if you keep an eye on that, like if you look in the middle of the day, it'll be a very low number in respect to what it will be if you looked at it right now. Okay, so you want to do it when that number's high. And if you think about it, people in the morning are getting ready, having their coffee, sitting in the car in the parking lot before they have to walk into work, doing 10 minutes of scrolling, whatever that is, their slow time. Or at nighttime, people are laying in bed or sitting on the couch, like me. I sit on the couch if I do so much TV. I don't watch TV, so I have like that downtime and I'm scrolling. Sybil, are you agreeing with me or raising your hand for real?
Raising my hand for real now.
Okay.
Can you say where that is again on Facebook, where you can see the times?
Yep. If you go into, when you go into Messenger, so if you open up the actual app Messenger, at the very bottom in the center, where like it's a list of all of your messengers, at the very bottom there's like two little heads, and on the top of it there's a little green number. Do you have an iPhone or nope, you have a Pixel? It's right in front of me. It might be different on an Android. But if you get into Messenger, if you just mess around in there a little bit, there should be a people. It might say people on your Android. And when you click on that, it'll take you to another screen and it should show you your active people. Okay. So I do like to create some of my content ahead of time. Sometimes people, especially brand new, right? Like we worry about what am I going to post today? If you spent, and actually we have a really cool training, and I mentioned this in a conversation with a couple of you yesterday. We've always done this branding pillars. It came from Brian Fryer. He created these branding pillar, the training for this. And it can be difficult. Right? Like it can get really strenuous. And I think everybody on here has done the branding pillar thing. So I did a training, I don't know, a week or two ago. It was for Instagram, but it talked about these categories. And so we are putting the categories, not the branding pillars, putting the categories into the 30-day newbie thing. And it's basically telling you to pick 9 to 12 categories of things that you love. So like coffee mugs could be one of them. Like Karen should be water. Like water should be one of Karen's, and that could be so wide, right? Shoes could be one. Somebody that loves shoes, like I love shoes. Running could be one. I mean, there's just so many things, but we're going to pick 9 to 12 categories, and then you actually can cycle through them, and you can create business, product, and lifestyle posts out of your categories. It's actually made for Instagram because when you open up Instagram, you see 9 to 12 squares on your little thing there. And so you're creating a pattern there, but it directly correlates into Facebook, and it makes content creation so much simpler when you have like that range, instead of saying, okay, what am I going to post out of my 5 pillars? Or when the pillars came up, actually you were supposed to post once a day out of your core pillar and then once a day out of the other ones. And it just caused a lot of overthinking for people that were just like, hey, I just really like to camp. I could post about camping once a week and make it successful. And you can make that business or product related as well. So we're going to get more into that. Right now, I think it's really incredible to just be, I like to think at least a day ahead, or even sit down on Sunday and say, okay, for 30 minutes, say, I'm going to plan out my content for the next 7 days. So on this day, my theme is going to be this. You could actually have theme days. I used to do this. My personal development in the morning, I would make my morning post about my personal development, and then it would be a selfie with something about what that personal development, my live video would be about that same topic. You could make theme days, and your story could be all about different campgrounds. I mean, content creation, once you get on a roll, is a lot simpler than you think. It's just sitting down and doing it and planning it out a little bit and being a little bit creative. Conversation starting, minimum 10 per day. And by conversation starting, I mean people you are not actively already in a conversation with, right? So these have to be new people you met in a branding group, people you haven't talked to in a long time. This could be where the people that were in your memories that you started a conversation with them, and get that. You want to like start building a relationship with people that you may have previously had one with, but you need to refresh, or people that you're just meeting. You want to make sure conversation starting. What happens? Conversation starting, the more that you interact with somebody, Messenger too, the more they're going to start seeing your stuff in their newsfeed, and your stories are going to start showing up for them. The more they're going to start wondering what you're doing. Why does your life look fun? Why are you always happy? Why are you so positive? Why are you bringing all the good to Facebook? They're going to start wondering, and they're going to start being magnetized to you. Okay? And that the right people. Okay? God has a way of weeding out the people that do not belong and magnetizing the people to you that do belong. So allow that to happen. When someone leaves, that's on them, not you. Okay? I'm just saying that. You want the right people will start falling in line. Okay. I have taprooting on mine, and I'm not going to talk about that right now because I'm brand new and I just really want to work on you. So really, as I look down through this, follow-up is the last thing on here that I really want to touch on. And since the minute that you signed up, like today would be a really good day, or tomorrow, if I know we're rounding out into the evening, but today or tomorrow would be a really great time for any single person that has commented on one of your things to go back and say, guess what? I thank you so much for giving me some, showing me some support, asking me some questions, really helping me get started in this. We have a really incredible promotion going on. I can't believe I started at the right time, and we only have 4 days left of this promotion. I would love to tell you more. Okay. The worst thing people are going to tell you is no, thank you. And you have to, we all get really good in this industry about being able to brush off the no thank yous, right? Like we have to be. Like when people say no, okay, on to the next. And no in my brain is not no, it's not right now, right? Timing is everything. So when somebody says no to you, you don't know what's going on the other end of their life. Like they could have just had the worst day ever and they're like, nope, not even hearing it. Okay? You just need to keep rolling with it and keep having the conversations. If you have had a month of no's, then you need to be talking to more people. If you have had a day of no's, then double down the next day. I'm telling you, if you are consistent and you are starting the conversations and you are working in those branding groups to get as many interact with as many people as possible, you're going to see a big change in things. Now, if you want more engagement, you have to be more engaging. Okay? So that means that you have to, the 10 to 20 people, non-mode air people's things that you're commenting on, you have to be doing that. You have to be really putting yourself out there and commenting and liking and loving on people's things. Okay? It's a give and take relationship. If you are not giving, Facebook is not going to put you in places for you to be given to. So I think that's like my power hour. I know long-winded, but at the same time, like a lot of those things only take a few minutes for me to chop through. Sometimes my power hours might be 2 hours, but that's just a sign that I'm working, right? So I just really quickly wanted to look down through this this 30-day that we have coming. So the first day will obviously be welcome. We're going to walk through the groups, the apps, and the resources available to you. The next day will be ATMing. We're going to talk a little bit about the algorithm on day 4. We're going to talk about live video. So I'm going to encourage you to really consider doing a live video. And if you have kids, involve them. Simple, you have an actor of a son, like do a funny video with him. It doesn't even have to be business related to like get the edge off for you about live video, but do something fun, interview him. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just getting to know you. So if these are like wild and crazy, like no harm meant, I'm just saying like have fun with it. Another good, the live video training that we're going to do in the Newbie thing is about unboxing. So when you get another box of product, you can actually do an unboxing, and it doesn't even have to be like wild and crazy. Like, so I could do an unboxing with the next time I get product. Actually, I could take a box that's sitting out there that I haven't taken the product out of, and I could do an unboxing today, right? And say, when I hold the bottle up, I'm going to hold the back of the bottle to the screen because we don't ever show a name of our product or the company, and say, oh my gosh, this bottle right here, this is amazing. This is our liquid waist trainer in a bottle. This is going to help hit belly fat. It's going to, I just talk about the products in an excited way, the things I like about it. I'm not going to be scientific. I'm not going to be like a know-it-all. I'm just going to say the things that I think people on the other end are struggling with that they're going to like about it, right? And you just kind of, I mean, most unboxing videos, like brand new people unboxing videos, you can tell they're nervous. But guess what? What I really love about somebody's first video is that they usually are not that great, right? But a year from now, you look back and you're like, wow, I love to see where I came from. I love to look back at my old live videos and have a good laugh. I'll be real honest. So I want you to start thinking about live video. Profile basics, we're going to talk about that real quick. in a training. Categories is the next one that I mentioned. We're going to talk just a really brief thing about product knowledge and where to find product information. I think everybody's good on that. Building your list, which we just talked about. Building relationships, I think we just talked about that. Where to find new friends. Growing networks with funnels, which I'm not going to talk about right now tonight with you. But at the beginning of next month, we'll have another like free funnel filler to help you attract more people. So that will come in. I'm not concerned about you having that right now. Buy, sell, trade posts, referral posts, branding groups, of course, closing with value, customer retention, which we just need to get you building customers right now. I'm not worried about that. Follow up, creating a call to action. So these are the order that you're going to do things. So like we're going to piece together your business for you. We're going to give you a post every one of these days, and we're going to give you a piece of personal development. So it's going to be really, it's coming together very nicely. It's a lot of freaking work. Picking your pod, managing no's, using stories, IPAs, DMOs, and Power Hour, content planning, recruiting as a compliment, leadership mindset 333, and congratulations, you completed 30 days of training. I don't think I need to dig into any more of that tonight because I think that the Power Hour is probably, I hope that I helped you with some network building or getting some more eyeballs on you. I hope that you feel like you are more well suited to go out there and create posts. Here's what I do want to say about posts really quick. Don't second guess yourself, right? Like if you know, I like to say if your post should either educate, empower, or entertain, okay? So we call them the 3 E's. There's a whole training about that as well, but I'm just going to break it down real quick for you. Those 3 things are real easy to look at, right? If you see a quote that you like, we can make a new graphic with a quote or take a selfie and dim it down. If you haven't used the app WordSwag is a really easy way to take like a selfie. You can darken the picture and use white letters on it and put the quote on it, and you can make it your own. I mean, obviously you're going to quote a person and write the person on there, but you can make your own graphic. So then you're empowering and you can say some nice words. But I think that it's really important for people to really think about how you're making somebody on the other end feel. Okay? So using pain points. Like I know that when we have been in the past few days, Sybil, when Karen and you have been creating your posts, like we always think about the person on the other end. What are they going to feel? What are they struggling with that we know that we have something that will aid or give them a solution? So whether that's entertaining, like today I made a post and I was like, happy Friday. Ha, just kidding. It's Tuesday. Like I put that in stories, right? Like I know that when somebody's scrolling on that and they're looking at results pictures and they come across that, they're going to be like, oh Lord, Daphne. I know that's probably what Karen did when she saw it, if she saw it. I'm sure she rolled her eyes because that would make sense. But but you guys just have to have fun with it. And like you can't, when we talk about algorithm and the training we're doing on algorithm, like I'm not going to give you all the ins and outs of the algorithm and this creates this. When I talk about algorithm, I'm like, be a good human. If you are giving graciously and generously, if you are putting out good content that you know if you were on the other end, you would want to see somebody post that, or you would want to see somebody doing a live video about that, or you would want to see more of that, do more of it yourself, right? So it's just really about being good. 1 to 2 posts max on your profile. Can't max out stories. You can do as many as you want on stories. They stick around for 24 hours. Now you have an archive, so you can go back and look at them. But other people cannot see them. I think that's really it. Any questions or any of you want me to add anything or anything y'all want to talk about? Sybil, do you have any questions at all? This recording will be a good one to get up, and I hope it's kind of long, but it'll be okay.
No, I think I'm good. I think you really covered all that I was curious about.
Okay. I mean, obviously we still have our 3-way chats and questions can always, I mean, those aren't going away. And I just knew, like, I've been wanting to do a power hour and I probably still will. I'm probably going to do a good idea.